Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Cricket Country's live analysis of the first session's play on the second day between India and England at Rajkot. What we got to see was another dominant session for England. They continued to dominate India with strong batting performance. They added more than they have actually taken their total to 450 with 6 wickets down, and India will continue to be poor once again with their bowling effort as well as in their fielding. I am Devasit Verma here from Cricket Country. With me here is my colleague Suajit, and we are going to discuss how the opening Test match is going to pan out ahead, with England being in complete command of the second of the opening Test. Uh, Keeping in mind that England has still a lot of batting left. Chris Woakes is batting, and with him is Ben Stokes on the 81. What we can expect is England to bat for probably one more session, close to the tea break, get as many as 150, another 150 runs, because Indian bowlers are tired. They have not been bowling good line and lengths, and then make India bat twice.
Yeah, the idea will be to bat India out of the game,
Yeah.
and they want to put as many runs as possible. They will just like to bat once in this match, and I think they are eyeing at something in excess of 600, like you said, another 150 runs or so. So once that happens, it will be very very difficult for India to even try and save the test, because India will have to bat for more than 3 days.
Yeah.
And if this England side's bat very deep, actually they bat till number 11, because
Correct.
Rod will be batting at number 11. You have somebody like Zafar Ansari, he's still to come in next. He bats in the middle order for his county side. He bats at number 5, 6 usually.
Yeah.
So they bat really deep. There's Adil Rashid, and there's a lot of batting to come. And what has helped them so far is Indian bowling and fielding, I would say in particular. So it's really a very disappointing, for an Indian fan, it has been a very disappointing, 4 sessions.
Let's talk a little bit more as an Indian fan, because at the end of the day, you want the Indian team being an Indian team to do well. What was more disappointing, the dropped catches, bad bowling, or the wicket which they prepared for this test? I think it was the wicket which actually has played in England's advantage, because there is no turn at all on the wicket. There is no assistance to the spinners. And if spinners are going to dominate for India, and is what they have done so far, then it is a very bad choice of having such wicket for the first test.
Yeah, see, I mean, if like you mentioned, there is not much turn in this wicket. So if there is, not enough turn, so I mean, playing three spinners, doesn't make much of a sense, because and also like the drop catches are really hurt. I mean, there have been as many as 5 drop catches, 6 drop catches, I guess.
More than that, actually.
Yeah, so see the bowlers. I mean, despite not looking very threatening, have still managed to create those chances, and like your fielders will have to make those opportunities count, and that is what they have not been able to do, and India find themselves in this situation. And if you see, I mean, even today morning, is the 2 catches that Riddhiman Saha dropped. I mean, by his standards, he should have taken even the first one, which was which was a
It was a tough chance, but not a
tough, but and he has set high standards for himself.
Correct.
We have been calling him as the best Indian wicket keeper, and stuff like that. So and even that the catch that Pujara, I think if you're fielding at short leg, he was not standing that close to.
Correct.
So he should have put up a better effort. So even the ground fielding has been better.
Yeah, I mean, fielding around the ropes. The very first boundary which was hit in the day by Moeen Ali was actually not a boundary. It was 2 runs, but the ball went under Jadeja, who was there at the boundary towards deep mid wicket. It flicked his fingers and touched the rope. So India have been pathetic. Sorry to use the strong word once again, but India have simply been pathetic with their effort in the field, and especially with the ball, because when I talk about the ball, what I felt yesterday was Indian spinners were bowling very slow through the air, and if there was not much turn on the wicket, what they could have done is tried attacking more on the wickets. They could have put men around and try finding out those faint nicks and edges and try wrapping on the pads. But what India did was they bowled very short and very very slow, which gave somebody like Moeen Ali, who got off 170, a lot of time to go back on the back foot and defend, or even if he wanted to nudge the ball around for singles or doubles, he was easily able to do that. So there was the stubbornness of not changing the bowling and tactics, isn't it? This is also one thing which India have not done right.
They have not done right, and yesterday I felt that Amit Mishra was underused.
Mhm.
Yeah, if you're playing five bowlers, he's a specialist bowler, and spin is your main attack. I mean, I think he bowled only 10 overs yesterday.
Correct.
He was under bowled, and overall, you see the intensity lacking, which we saw was there.
Intensity is lacking. Intensity is completely missing, if I can say that.
Yeah, I mean, as a number one side, everything has been going India's way in the last couple of months. The win in West Indies, the recent one-day series win, the 3-0 whitewash of
Correct.
New Zealand, and I mean, even New Zealand were a decent side. So, adding to that, Bangladesh had just beaten England in the final test. So,
Yeah.
England morals were down, and like Stuart Broad before the start of this test mentioned that we are massive underdogs.
Correct.
So, I mean, everything India had everything in their favor. So I don't understand. I mean, what led to this? This will not help the side. I mean, times to
The
come.
drop catches are not definitely going to help India. So is the extra runs which they have allowed so far. And the pitch is it remains to be seen how exactly this pitch goes on to behave in the final session, say today, or even the morning session tomorrow, or when the sun is on top of it sometime around noon tomorrow, when we expect India to be batting. But what what I would like to talk about right now is the alarming tone in which we have been speaking so far in the live analysis that we have been doing since yesterday. The thing is, India were expected to dominate throughout their India cricket season, throughout the season in which they were going to play 13 test matches. They did very well in the first three test matches against New Zealand. In the fourth test match of this big season, what is happening right now is India are struggling on every single front. We are yet to see how India go on about their task at the bat. But they were expected to dominate with their spinners, which they haven't. They prepared a wicket which actually looks in favor of the touring side, which is England. Now, England is a team which does not let go of any opportunity that comes their way. They know how to bank on these kind of chances, and that is what they have done. 450 on the board. They are looking to outbat India from the test match, and if England are able to take even slight amount of moral advantage, which according to me they have already taken, then India are going to face a lot of trouble, because let's touch upon the 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 morale of the team, the past history which India had against England. India have lost 9 test matches out of 13 since in the last 5 years. Now they're on the verge of now they're looking at the defeat, a possible defeat if India did not bat well. A possible defeat is somewhere there in the horizon. So why is it that India continue to flop or perform badly against England?
I mean, I don't see any particular reason for that, because I mean that the 4-0 whitewash. If we go back to 2011, that was in England. That was
Correct.
different conditions, and again back then India was the number one side. If you see both the sides, there have been a lot of changes. Strauss was a captain. We had Dhoni as a captain.
Correct.
In 2012-2013 series, which was played in India again, you had Kevin Peterson, you had Alistair Cook scoring a lot of runs, and a lot of these youngsters weren't around at that point of time. And if you see this English side, they are relatively young, and I mean, a lot of them. I mean, I believe most of them do not have enough subcontinent experience,
Yes.
and so everything.
But still,
was-
they are playing as if they are playing at home.
Yes, and see, I think it's let's just hope from the Indian perspective. Let's just hope that these are just like 4 off sessions, and
Correct.
again, even this Indian side is also a young side,
Yes.
and we haven't seen them. How they come back from pressure. I mean,
Correct.
the touring New Zealand side, they did have a couple of sessions. They did manage to
Correct,
dominate,
correct,
but
correct.
but not like how England have done, like completely dominating 4 sessions
Yeah.
in a test. So what happens here is it's interesting to see. India have the number one rank,
Correct.
and how the top test side comes back and makes make thing count in their favor.
Correct.
After being under pressure. So that will be a test. This is still a learning experience. So let's just hope that
Let's just-
they put up a better batting show.
A better batting show, because we cannot judge the outcome as we spoke about it in the earlier session, the earlier analysis video earlier in the day today. Let's not jump towards conclusion. Let's wait for probably India to bat first on the second, and let's see what India come up with a reply, because the batting The pitch still remains good for batting. England will, at some point of the time in the second session, will feel that they have enough runs on the enough runs on the board to make India bat twice. Uh, let's look into some of the comments which we would have got so far.
Uh, Ram Surendra Singh thinks that this test match will, be a draw.
It can be a draw, Ram, if India put up at least 500 runs on the board in the first innings.
Yeah, and
Because they will consume that much amount of time to score that many runs, and that means with one innings left each for both the teams, then there wouldn't be enough time left in the game for a result to come out.
and it has been a long time. I think it's been 4 years since there has been a draw test.
Exactly.
The Rajkot test again in 2012-13, which
Yeah.
was India versus England again, and there was a South Africa test which was again a draw, but that was mainly washed out due to rain. So
Correct.
yeah,
Correct.
and Manav says that he's quite confident that India will lose this test.
Manav, it all depends on how India bats in the first session, basically. Because if India end up conceding a big lead, say around 150, 200, then they might face the pressure. But if India do not allow England to take a big lead in the first innings, what England will find themselves in that they will have to add more runs in the second session to make India bat again, which means a lot of time would have been spent on this in this match. So we can expect a draw somewhere in the horizon, but for that India will have to work really hard at the bat. But before that, they will have to wait for England to declare or pull up their socks and bowl really well and take out those four remaining wickets in the English hands.
Exactly.
Let's talk about Virat Kohli. Do you think the change in bowling attacks, the way he utilized his bowlers today, was perfect? Because for a very long time, the local boy Ravindra Jadeja did not get a chance to bowl.
Yeah, I think even Virat Kohli, we'll still say that these are early days for him. I mean, he's never been under this sort of pressure.
Correct.
After he became a captain. So he learned, but definitely I think he could have used his bowlers better. He could definitely have used his bowlers better. He has three spinners. At times, it gave an impression that he was clueless to which bowler to use when. I mean,
Correct.
if Jadeja should be bowling with Ashwin or Mishra should be bowling with Ashwin, so he was not getting those combinations right. And I mean, like I said, these are still early days. He learned, and it's a long test series. So let's hope that India put up a better show.
Correct. This is all we have for right now. Please stay tuned in to cricketcountry.com for all the updates. We'll be back after the post-tea session. Let us keep our hopes alive for India to come up with something good in this test match and challenge whatever England have thrown at them. Thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned.